Howdy ho, Maplers. This is an update on the Zero Meso farmer. After DMT, I'm effectively done farming for now, so a few updates and changes. Obviously, we got our CD hat. This thing is actually quite handy. The idea behind the CD hat is that with a cooldown hat, while in alpha form, I'll show you here with my cooldowns. This is my main alpha combo down here on the X key with Wind Cutter. So the idea behind it is, you cast your Wind Cutter, then it goes on cooldown, and then you use your basic attack to reset the cooldown. And with 3 seconds, or I think even with 2 seconds because it takes time to move and all that, with 2 or 3 seconds on the hat, you're able to down telly, attack twice, and then reuse the combo. And that just means you're getting attacks out faster than if you were using the tag system, which is pretty ideal, especially if you're not fully one-shotting like I am right now. It's not insanely high of an improvement on the overall Meso per hour. It's about 10 to 15% better than it was when I was using the tag system, but I think part of that is because the more that I'm doing this, the more optimized I can make the rotations. Like, what I showed off in my first video was doing 1 minute and 30 second segments and then looting. After doing that for like 10 to 12 days, I realized that it was taking me so much time to loot because normal pets have, quite honestly, pretty booty loot, especially when you're pumping like 700 mobs per minute worth of items onto the ground. It was taking me 30 to 35 seconds to fully loot the map with a 1 minute and 30 second rotation, which meant I was losing a lot of time on killing mobs every hour just because looting speed is so slow. And to alleviate some of that, I switched to using a 45 second to 1 minute rotation now that I have my cooldown hat. And it kind of works. There's still a bunch of drops that the pets miss, but since I'm doing loot cycles much more frequently, I'm not losing any of those drops to expiration timers, because I'm just going to run over them at least twice before they expire, which is amazing. And also an added improvement to my rotation, when I walk across the map to loot everything, I get to the corner, I turn around, and then I throw an alpha combo back. That way when I go down and loot the bottom platform, the top platform is still dying. And then once I'm on the left side of the bottom platform, I turn around, throw another tornado back, and then just start restarting my combos to clear the entire map and just keep up kill efficiency even while I'm grinding. Well, it's not 100% uptime on grinding because the map's really long. And it takes like 7 to 8 seconds to walk across the entire thing. I'm thinking that's about right. It feels like about 10 seconds, but it's a little quicker. So it's better efficiency overall with my Meso farming. Now, there are some improvements I still need to make with my character. I want to ideally get to the point where I'm 100% one-shotting, which means my electricity is always one-shotting. Right now, the only time my electricity is truly one-shotting is when I have my special node up, which is only 20 seconds out of every minute, which is nice, and it boosts my rate pretty significantly, which is why I used the node, and which is why I showed it off in the original video. But that extra 40 seconds of downtime, that's also a pretty significant chunk. And if I can get myself to the point where I'm 100% one-shotting all the time while I'm Meso farming, my rates are just gonna pretty much be as good as they can get. And then beyond that point, the only real improvement you could make is getting vac pets, because vac pets loot faster than normal pets. Shocker, I know, pay-to-win pets loot faster than normal pets. But it's fairly significant how much faster they loot too. I did some testing with my friend, thank you to Lewis for doing this by the way. One vac pet can clear 1 minute and 30 seconds worth of upper path drops in 40 seconds. One vac pet. That's almost as good as all 3 of my pink beans. So just imagine if you had 3 vac pets. Now that's insanely expensive. And I'm in no rush to get to that point. I might just like get 1 vac pet and then test with 2 normal beans. I think I'll probably end up doing that before I ever think about getting 3 vac pets, especially at the prices they're at now, because that's a lot of Meso. Like, each vac pet is like 2 weeks worth of Meso farming. I don't know if I want to commit to that, but 1 vac pet is effectively 3 pets almost, and that's pretty nuts. So what I'm thinking is, the ideal would be 100% one-shotting with 3 vac pets doing 1 minute and 30-second cycles. Because at that rate, you're killing the most mobs possible before you start looting, so you have enough time before the items on the ground expire that you're getting all of those items that drop. I think that's the ideal, like that's the perfect best farming method for Zero. But again, that takes so much funding. Oh man, I'm not even going to look at vac pets for a while now. I still need to get myself to the point I'm one-shotting 100% of the time, which is gonna be kind of a daunting task, because I still need a reinforced ring, but I should have one lined up pretty soon. All of my stuff is 17 star about. The belt, I have a 22 star belt that I was using for my 250s. I'm going to try with my next 250 not using that belt to see if it was a significant enough of a difference in damage that I needed it for H250. If I don't need it for H250, I'll probably swap this belt out for the 22 star belt and just recube this one as I need it for each new 250, because this is good enough. 17 star is perfectly fine for 250s. The 22 star belt is pretty darn good, and it would push me a little bit closer to one-shotting with the electricity 100% of the time. For my weapon, the only real upgrade I can see myself doing for this is getting like the arcane essence and bumping this up to an arcane weapon, which arcane essence isn't necessarily cheap, but it gives a significant amount of base attack increase where I wouldn't have to touch anything else on this weapon. It would just be the arcane essence cost, and then this would just tier up and get that much stronger. I'm not going to touch the flame on this because, oh god, if you've ever tried to flame a Zero weapon before in the past, these things are technically non-boss items. They're abysmal. It is torturous to fight a good flame out of this thing. It's painful. Not gonna touch it. 38 attack is good enough for me, and that'll scale up as well once I get the arcane weapon. It should scale up to like 46, I think. For the pendants are fine. They both have like all stat or strength on the B pots. There's not much I can do there. For the new items, I need to 17 star them, but there is a 5, 10, 15 coming up, I think, next weekend. I'll probably do that on then, if I have enough Mesos left over. Obviously, I still need a healthy chunk of the Meso I just farmed to tier up my Arcane Force on the next 250, as well as to fund for Star Force on that 250, but I should have enough, hopefully, to get back in Star Force this. If not, I'll probably stop training the 250 for like a couple days and farm more Meso just for this, because 17 star is 21, or not 21, it's 19 attack per item. So that's 19 attack here. And I think it's 19 attack on the boots, the glove, and the hat for now. But I think I'm going to take those 2 legendary warrior pieces that Jonah cubed for me during DMT and put them on here, because before having those, I was just using these for 250 warriors, and I didn't feel like I was lacking in damage at any point. And obviously, I was just doing Mihail so far for strength warriors and Zero is just crazy strong base damage regardless, and Mihail's honestly pretty strong base damage as well. So I don't really think there are any warriors that are like super low base damage besides maybe Blaster, but I'm not in any rush to do Blaster, so I'll fix something when I get to him. I might even just use the gear off of my Zero, but I think I'll take out the 18% top and the 21% pants and put them on here, and then just move these over to my next 250 warrior. That'll give me a nice range increase, but I don't think it's going to put me at one-shotting by itself. So after I 17 star everything that needs to be 17 starred and get those new pieces over, I think I'll be pretty close, but I don't know if I'll be there quite there. I think the only optimization I can do beyond that is to get rid of my Focus Spirit link and get my Ho Young to level 140 for the level 2 link, because that'll give me 14% damage on full HP targets, which is effectively just 14% damage, which is better than Beast Tamer link. I'll have to shuffle around my Legion grid and get my crit back to 100%, but that's something pretty easy to do. I'll lose boss damage overall, but I don't really need boss damage because this skill is super nuts. I really like this skill. Like, the more I'm Meso farming, the more I fall in love with this skill. Just binding it, and then this skill one-shots an elite boss. Like, at 21k stat, 8 mil range, this one-shots elites in upper path. It's nuts. I love this skill. But those are upgrades for now. Long-term and short-term for this character. For now, I'm kind of changing my opinion on Meso obtained gear for Reg server. Like, if you can fit 100% in with your drop gear, I think it might be worth it, but I think I'm still going to stand by that, like, 100% drop is better than 100% Meso off the bat for characters, because drop just is useful everywhere, where Meso is really only useful while you're training. But for a new player, I'd say drop gear 100%. But for a character who's established themselves a little bit, maybe you're up to doing normal Lotus and normal Damium tier, and you're farming a lot, maybe it's an okay idea to invest in a Meso gear set, because the more Meso you get while farming means the less struggling you're going to have to get Meso, which is honestly pretty ideal right now, because Meso is really valuable. Like, I'm not looking forward to the Star Force event because of how much Meso it's going to cost to get everything to 17 star. For my experience so far with Bera, 17 stars honestly been pretty awful for me. It's, especially since it's not even a 5, 10, 15, it's a 30% off. Also, I reflamed this. Now it's not as terrible. Feels good, man. I was really happy when I rolled 90. But I'm not looking forward to it because right now I have 11 bills saved up. Half of that is probably going to be used on Star Forcing, and then the other half will be used for leveling up my symbols on the next 250 and just miscellaneous purposes. But oh man, it's going to be rough, but as the saying goes, you got to spend money to make money, right? But this is one heck of an investment. Also, I thought about this like the entire 2 weeks I've been Meso farming pretty much. I think I'm going to leave this shoulder here, because if I swap this out for the new shoulder I made, I lose 880k range. That sets me back a lot from my goal of one-shotting 100% of the time. Now, I can still move over my 22 star hat to my next 250s, and that's a huge boost to all my warriors, but I'll have to leave this here and just use the new shoulder I made for H250, which isn't that much of a downgrade. I mean, it's still going to be a 17 star shoulder with 28% strength. That's more than good enough, I think, for all the warriors, except maybe Blaster, but again, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But overall, now that I have my CD hat, I think it was a good investment. I don't think it's necessary. Like, it's only about 10 to 15%, as I was saying in the beginning, of an increase to the Meso. So I don't think it's that massive. I'll just show off what it looks like while you're training. For anyone who is curious, let's see if there's an open... Yay, there is an open map. Also, I'm super happy I got those decent skills on a glove. They're just so nice. Now I only have to use Night's Watch, Decent Holy Symbol, and Decent Speed Infusion, and all of them are on the same cooldown. Press in 3 keys, super duper nice. So the rotation is pretty much just hold down your alpha combo, teleport down, basic attack twice, alpha combo again. And then you just keep doing this. And it's so much faster than using the tag system, because Beta's combo takes like, I don't even know, I think it's like a full 1.5 seconds longer to cast than Alpha's combo, which is super, super bad. I mean, it's fine for early on because beta has a lot more base range than alpha, so it allows you to one-shot easier, it allows you to full clear the map pretty easy, but when you're going for peak efficiency on your farming, you definitely want to just stay in alpha, because faster attacks means more efficient map clearing, means higher uptime on mobs dying, just means good things all around. And then yeah, just do faster loot cycles, that's kind of what I found to work for me. And then when I get to the corner, attack twice to reset the cooldown, throw out a tornado, jump down, walk my way over. If I have will skill on cooldown, I'll just drop it there. Then once I get back to this side, throw another combo, and then resume training. And that's really helped increase my rates as well. I think that plays more of a part in my overall rate increase than the CD hat alone does, but everything works together in increasing my Meso rate. I think now my clean rate's probably sitting around 140, 145 mil per hour, which is pretty darn good. I think once everything's said and done, you could probably get that up to like a maximum of 180 per hour base, but considering this is reg server, 180 per hour base is really, really good. But the investment for that is really, really high. Well, I hope you guys found this video helpful. See you in the next one.